The name of the show is The Way to Go. My name is Alan Bendich. I'm going to be your host. And tonight, he was so good in the last episode that we brought him back. He's an actor, and his name is Greg Adair. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here, Alan.
It's great to have you back. It's been such a long time. Yeah.
AJ, we have to do this closer together because I mean, your hair was black the last time?
I know,
what happened?
yeah. I dyed it for this show.
Same shirt, though. I like it.
That's it.
And I wore this ceremonial shirt from the last time, yeah.
So I think, we talked a lot about the Fez Belcher show, which is a wonderful project that you're working on, and I've been able to work on a couple episodes. And actually, I thought I was going to be on 2 episodes, but it looks like I'm on 3. So it's interesting how that works.
Yep.
And again, it's Lindley Farley, who is the person who is unbelievable. Incredible. And we love him dearly.
Yes, we do.
We love his work.
He is what we call good people.
He's good people and brilliant people.
Yep.
And he does it all, right?
Yes, he does. He's entirely a Renaissance man.
Unbelievable.
And he is resourceful and he's focused.
Right.
Which is really cool.
And I have to do a shout out to JT because he's the one who introduced me to Lindley, and
it's a good thing.
It's a very good thing. And who knew? He came in unassuming, sitting in that chair, and all of a sudden it was like, boom. And he also said this, the other thing, like you had mentioned in the show, that he said, I'm going to make a show for you. He said, I'd like you to work on one of my shows. I said, okay. And again, it's like one of those moments where you hear it, and then all of a sudden I get the call, and it's like, Lindley, remember that show I told you that? I said, yeah, okay, you're on the show. I said, okay, great, unbelievable. So what other shows have you worked on?
I've been real lucky. If you look on IMDb, I have, I think, 14 different gigs that I've done. I got to play Commissioner Gordon.
Oh my God! In
a wonderful 3-part series called The Batman Chronicles, which you can still watch on YouTube if you like.
Awesome.
And if you're if you're in the habit of watching all those 3, you need to go to the next thing, which is the blooper reel, which is very, very funny. We had a wonderful time doing that. Let
me just tell you something real quick. I played Perry White. In another words, one of these homage films.
Still, so what?
So it's like I have that credit on IMDb as Perry White. So we're both like Dell Comic Books. Is that DC Comics?
Yeah, Detective Comics.
Right.
Yep,
that's it. DC.
Yep. And the thing that I'm excited about, actually, just for me personally, is that at the end of November, they're going to show Superman on the big screen again.
Oh, wow.
And I'm so there, I can't even tell you.
I love Superman.
Superman was absolutely amazing.
But Batman was pretty cool, too. And,
yes,
and you were in, so tell me about, was it Batman?
The Batman Chronicles.
Okay.
And it's basically, if you know anything about Batman, they had, in the mid-1980s, they had The Dark Knight Returns, which was Frank Miller's 3-part opus of basically reimagining the Batman character. And then the very next issue was a thing called Batman Year One, which shows Batman figuring out, I need a costume, and it's going to be Batman, and he's making all kinds of mistakes left, right, and center. They have since done animated versions of this. The Batman Returns was with Peter Weller playing Bruce Wayne, and he was wonderful.
I like Peter Weller.
He's a fantastic.
RoboCop.
He's
unbelievable.
Fantastic. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then, where was I going with this? Was that what this thing is kind of a Batman Year 2.
Oh, cool.
He's gotten some things under his belt. He kind of knows what he's doing, and then he runs into the Joker for the first time. And so we have a wonderful actor by the name of Anthony Miziano, who's actually one of the producers of this, playing the Joker, and he was fantastic. I had auditioned for the role of Alfred on a Sunday night over the phone. Right. I get a call on Monday. Hey, Greg, listen, thank you so much. We're kind of going to go in a different direction with this, but good luck in everything you do. And I took Monday.
Who was the filmmaker that you were working with?
For
the Batman Chronicles. What was his name? The guy who was actually...
Chris Max.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris Max was...
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. Chris Max was one of the either associate producer or line producer, forgotten to be honest with you, because it's like 5 years ago.
But the one who directed it, I was wondering. Okay, never mind.
It was the two brothers, and I should have written it down, but
no, because
I
I knew someone else who was doing a show about Batman. I was just wondering if it was.
Well, here's the thing. Go to YouTube and look it up because it's there, and you see everybody, and they're all wonderful.
Okay,
so,
sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. So Anthony, he sends me a call, say, hey, thanks, but no thanks.
Right.
And I'm stewing around all day Monday, all day Tuesday.
It would have killed me. Oh my God.
I was like, I did a good audition. What's the matter with those people?
No one can act like me.
Right, exactly.
Hey, I'm the best.
I am it. And
I am Alfred.
Right, exactly. Tuesday afternoon, I get a call from Anthony. Yeah. And he goes, Greg, we got a problem. We need you. And I was like, what's going on? And he goes, we just lost our Commissioner Gordon.
Oh my
so I was like, no, you didn't. And he goes, you'll do it? And I was like, absolutely. How much does it pay? There's a pause on his end of the phone. Oh, we were hoping you'd do it for free.
Right.
There's a pause on my end of the phone because he's offered me the role.
Right.
I've already taken it.
Right.
And now we're negotiating.
I know, it's a little, yeah.
And I was like, I think I'll just hang out for about 7, 8. Okay, yeah. Anthony, I don't work for free. How many days is the shooting schedule? He said 4 days. I was like, 125 a day.
Right.
He goes, how's 300 sound? I said, 400 sounds wonderful. And I
negotiated.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
worked it out.
No, I have a little Alfred story, by the way.
Go ahead.
I was in Hollywood. I lived in Hollywood in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And the early 80s, they had Vic Tayback playing 12 Angry Men in some sort of theater on Sunset. So I decided to go. I wanted to see it.
Right, yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I wanted to see it because I loved the play.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the movie, you know. And the guy who played Alfred on Batman, the original television series, the television series with Bruce Wayne.
Napier.
Napier. He was sitting there. I mean, the guy.
Alan Napier. Alan Napier, yes.
That's it. He was in the audience.
Oh, he was in the audience. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he must have been 100 years old.
Well, it was in the 80s, I guess.
Still.
Yeah, but he looked great. You know, it was like, I met anyway, I just wanted, when you said Alfred, I had to.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's your Alfred story. That's your Alfred story.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
That's cool.
So, what other, I mean, so you got a chance to play Commissioner Gordon.
Got a chance to play Commissioner Gordon, and then about 2 or 3 years later, actually through the Batman Chronicles, I've had a whole bunch of other things open up for me. And one of them was being cast as an Orthodox Jewish father.
Oy vey.
Oy vey is me like you wouldn't believe. During the Crown Heights riots.
Oh my God.
No less.
Yes.
I'm playing an Orthodox Jewish father to a wife and a daughter. The film is called Go Fish. And it's directed by a young woman whose name is Jamila J. Brown. And Jamila is wonderful.
Right.
She is a lot like Lindley.
Wow.
Focused, good writer, gets with good people. She can direct, and she's very good at it.
Right.
But she also allows other people to step in and kind of work with her and stuff like that. She's very, very much a team player, even with her own material, which is, is unusual. And
well, because people like to be very,
right, exactly, because it's their baby, and you understand. You kind of do what you can to say, hey, you can trust me with your baby. I got you. We're going to take care of this. Don't worry about it. So I walk into the audition. I have got short hair, clean shaven, and I was 20 pounds less than I was when I found out that I got cast. I was like, I'm going to put on 20 pounds, and then I'm going to take the entire summer and I'll grow my beard out. And I had this magnificent beard.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I got to play this father who is not particularly happy with living where he's living. He gets shot by a young African-American man, and he is equally unpleased when his daughter starts to befriend a young African-American girl.
Wow.
And it's about the daughter's opening up and the beginnings of her journey through life. My character standing back, listening to my wife saying, you need to trust and stop trying to control, blah, blah, blah. And it was a wonderful
So the
arc
torments,
for me.
right? I mean, the loving your daughter,
yeah,
but not loving the circumstances of her
Exactly.
life. And
Exactly.
I believe me, Sounds like, I mean, I know you did you must have done a great job. And
it was a blessing because I got
probably was transformative for you too. I mean,
it really was wonderful. And that's one of the wonderful things about being an actor is that I've played generals, I've played presidents, I've played cops and detectives and, you know, Commissioner Gordon and this and that and everything else. And Fez Belcher, who is insane. I love him. And all these things have opened my heart and my mind up to the strengths that I have in my character, which has helped me to move forward in life. And it's it's a blessing.
And when you're, I don't know, I was never, I didn't study acting. I wound up getting my first job on Cagney and Lacey, of all things. That's where I got my SAG card.
Right, yeah.
And so I started taking classes afterwards, and it was like a cold reading course. I never I mean, I wanted, everyone wants to be an actor, right? But I never was classically trained. I took acting classes after I got my first gig.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, well, no, just opening up yourself to new experiences, and your work sometimes informs your life as your life informs your work.
Right. Yeah. And of course, I lost myself, so I'm going to ask you to keep on going.
Sure. Well, that's one of the beauties of acting is getting to play all these amazing people.
Right. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Okay. For me, though, it's not always, but when it happens, when you totally are that character and you lose yourself.
Yes.
To me, that is the best feeling in the world. There's nothing matches it.
Yep.
And I hate to say that because I have children, I have father, I have, you know. But nothing in the world to me is more exciting, more stimulating than being that character, and you are that character.
And that portion of that
exactly.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And that portion where you're kind of acting like a puppet master and going, go, move forward. Okay, now try this. Open it, go, you can do it, you can get it. And when you've got all the things running on all cylinders, it's magic.
And once I did it, and I actually won like an award at a film festival, which was nice. So it's like one of those things where you're doing it and you realize, you know, and we filmed in 20-degree weather in a garage that had no, but you don't feel it, you know. It's like, that's the beauty to me. And those are the things, that's like chasing the high, though.
Yes,
you know, wanting to get that feeling again, being so at one with the universe in your acting. You know what I mean?
I mean, I was lucky that I studied acting in college, and I had the best of both worlds because I had one professor who was very, very much from the English mold, by which I mean, I'm going to teach you voice characterization. I'm going to teach you walking characterization. How does the character walk? Watch people. See how people literally walked through life. Watch them. Adapt, and you can get to the character from the physical, versus the other way around, which is, what is the character feeling? What's going on emotionally with him? Making the emotional impulse of, I'm going to go and do this. And for me, I don't say, oh, I'm just a method actor. Oh, no, I'm just the old English method. I mean, it's the classic story of when Dustin Hoffman was on the set of Marathon Man, and he looked, you know, shot at and missed, and Olivier was looking at him and saying, my dear boy, why don't you just try acting? And there's a point to that, which is really interesting, because you have to be able to do your job, which is keep everything together, but also understand that you're working with a sound person, a director, a lighting person. And they haven't got time for you to feel the muse. You've really got to focus, and when he says action, make it happen. You know? And the other beauty of it is on the flip side. When everything is said and done, you're watching it in a theater, then the audience brings their entire life experience to watch this thing on the screen, and then they come to you. I mean, we did the opening night of Go Fish at the Brooklyn Museum. And several of these women came up to me and go, you're such a nice boy. Are you Jewish? I'm like, no, sorry, I'm not part of the chosen one, but I love God.
Yeah, I know that feeling. So, again, the thing that I won my Best Supporting Actor, even though the whole movie was about my character, when the movie was over, every eye was looking at me. It was like they turned around and they saw me in the theater, and every eye was looking at me. Like, it's like, whoa. But I mean, you talked about your acting.
Yes.
Would you like to share some of your acting with the audience at this point?
What would you like?
Okay, I think we have a couple of clips. A couple of clips of you and I actually acting together.
Well, let's do
and
that.
Then, okay, so I'd like to. I set it up, but you know, the whole thing is that he's a much better actor than I am. But I'll let you guys be the judge. So enjoy this, please.
I like your music, but I'm not really into musicians.
What's the matter with musicians?
On the road all the time, irregular hours, groupies, God knows what else.
Well, I've been living in the East Village for years. I mean, everybody knows me. Come on, give me a chance. I mean, trust is my middle name. Richie. My fans.
Who are you? I'm Manny, Orphan Eddie's brother. Pablo, would you mind waiting in the bathroom while we talk?
But that's Fez's room. Ave Maria.
Have a seat. I'm not here as a mourner. I'm a private investigator, and I'm here to get to the bottom of my brother's death. Go ahead, eat your fries. Did you know my brother was a retired policeman?
No, I just knew him from the clubs.
You knew him from the clubs. He really loved your music. He went back with you before you were with the Honest Aids. What was the name of that group that you started with? The Bankrupts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bankrupts. You know, he would tell me all about you. He would talk about you all the time. You must be some musician. I'm proud to make your acquaintance. Now tell me about the officers that interviewed you. The ones that made you lie about my brother's death.
The police?
Yeah. Those two officers that used that S&M death excuse to cover up their own crimes and make Eddie appear compromised so that no one would ask the right questions about their activities. But we won't let that happen, will we? Trust me on this. Your security will be in the forefront of my mind. I'll have armed guards posted outside your building 24 hours, 7 days a week. We'll put up high-tech security cameras inside and outside this apartment so we can monitor the comings and goings of everyone and to make sure nobody slips in without detection.
Like you.
I could even swing it to get you a concealed carry permit so you won't have to walk the streets unprotected. How does that sound to you?
I don't think this is going to work out.
Oh, hi, Pablo. Let's face it, Fez. Eddie was a man that when you needed him most, opened up his car trunk for you and carried your equipment to every one of your gigs. I don't think it's asking too much to return the favor by testifying before the grand jury under oath, naming names of those two crooked cops and their mob associates. Let's put an end to this system of vice and corruption once and for all. Eddie was your biggest fan. Will you return? That is awesome. I mean, that was so much fun doing, and believe me, it looks like it went smoothly, but it was a little rough getting all those lines in.
The beauty, like your character particularly, was wordy but focused and stuff like that, and you nailed it. I mean, you did.
I appreciate that.
It's right there. It's right there.
It was fun, but how are the French fries?
They are cold.
They were cold.
And limp.
But what happened to your arm?
In the course of something happening between episodes 1 and 3,
right.
Fez breaks his arm.
Oh.
It has something to do with Elaine, my stalker.
Okay.
And we haven't quite figured out what that is.
Right.
But it's the manager comes in, she bursts into the room with all this wonderful energy, Bobby.
Yeah.
And she is like, I've got you this greatest gig. They've heard of Blizzards of Pain. This one producer from this big label loves your album, and he can't cannot wait to see you.
Right.
Okay, take that out.
Take two.
Right, exactly, exactly.
Right.
And then cut to me with the broken arm.
Oh, that's funny.
And she's just like, well, you can play, right? I'm like, how? Broken arm, guitarist.
Right.
So it was just wonderful.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. You know, like one episode at a time. You know, and just the whole sequence.
Yes, yes.
But I saw the latest one, which isn't. You know, we're not showing it yet.
Yeah.
But when the gangsters come in, oh my God, those guys, they look tough. Some of those guys.
Yeah, well, because thanks to your character. Going to Pablo and going, hey, you can be a private investigator too. I imagine Manny gets his ideas from the back of comic books.
And then he gets his ideas from Lindley. Lindley Farley, the great.
And Lindley gets them from the back of comic books. You too can be a private investigator.
But he was, again, Lindley's writing.
Yes.
It all falls back to that. I mean,
absolutely.
At least for these projects.
And he's playing, like I said, 3D chess.
Oh God.
It's awesome. And when he sits down and edits it, it's like he's the maestro, and boom, it happens.
Yeah, and you wind up seeing it that night.
Yes.
After you shoot it, it's like done.
Oh my goodness.
I used to have to wait so long to get other stuff. You know.
6 months. I mean, if somebody says to you, "Hey, I'm going to have this to you in 90 days," you know, 6 months.
Right.
Lindley, I remember the first time he had an episode done. I'm like, "Well, you're done with the rough draft." He goes, "No, I'm done with the whole thing." I'm like, oh, okay. And then I hit it and watched it. I was like, he did this.
I know, and it's
in
so
like
awesome.
7 hours.
It's unbelievable.
You know, but it goes back to he knows exactly what he wants when he frames a shot. He's like, this is what I want. Boom, let's make it happen, and it happens.
Right. But I like the other thing I like is how he uses even different types. I like the diversity of people.
Yes.
And to me, it's wonderful. I mean, it's like when you I mean, everyone's involved. It's like the UN. You know, it's like
it really is.
And they're all talented.
Yeah. Young and old. There's Chris Holtz, who plays the guy that was running away, and in that scene is his daughter.
Right.
There was a shot from. In the storyline, the night before of him being drunk and I'm carrying him home. Right. There is an episode called the aggrieved wife, played by an actress, Brooke Fulton Myers. Right. I've known Brooke for a number of years. We did the Scottish play together off Broadway, and she is wonderful.
I can't wait to see it.
And
I'm so looking forward to every episode.
Lindley called me up because Chris's girlfriend was supposed to do it.
Right.
And, well, this is what happens with Lindley. He'll meet somebody, have some kind of conversation with them, and then, just like you and me, I'm going to do something for you. Within 12 hours, he had a script for her, but she had a scheduling thing. She just got cast in like a 3-month gig, you know, doing a road company tour of something, and she left. So he's like, Greg, Chris's girlfriend left. Do you know of anybody? And I'm like, for what? He goes, playing the wife. I'm like, Brooke. And I called up Brooke and I said, try this. And she's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, you just need to trust me. This is a soft place to land. You're going to be fine. And she knocked it out of the park.
That's awesome.
She was wonderful.
But I keep on thinking also about Michael. I know I keep on mentioning his name.
He's wonderful. Michael Calderon.
Michael Calderon cracks me up every time he opens his mouth.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, yeah. And the first scene that we have with him is that he's coming in to rent my couch for $750 a month. Yay me. And then I find out that the check that I thought bounced, which he was going to cover, has been cleared. So I want to get him out. And I come into the living room, and not only is he on his knees praying, oh, thank God for Mr. Fez, he is wonderful. And Miguelito, isn't he wonderful? And he's got his dummy on the couch facing him, praying with him on his knees. And I'm like, this man's out of his mind.
Oh, God.
It's so good.
And it's all in Lindley's mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But he plays that character so well, Michael.
I mean, he does. And he's smart, and he's funny, and he...
I got to get him on this show. I tried to get him on the second show that we were going to do today.
Right.
But he was busy doing some film. But that
Yeah,
would have
well,
been cool.
he's
But
a
the next
busy
time,
guy. Yeah.
we should get the whole crew together.
Oh, that would be.
But
that would be
again,
fun.
but the setup for this show, it's always best to have one-on-one. I mean,
Yeah, I get you. I understand.
Because then you have two, and then it's cameras.
Maybe what
and
we'll
it's-
do at the premiere of the TV show is
Right.
have you step out of your role as Manny
Right.
and do a whole thing for
maybe
the
we-
E Network.
Right.
Or
whatever, or
Right.
for LMC TV.
there you go.
Because we could get maybe a crew, maybe.
That
I'll
would
have
be
to ask LMC TV if we
That
can get
would
a
be
crew.
wonderful. Please, that would be great. Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yep.
So any new things on the horizon? Because Fez seems to be now winding down, right? I mean, is it?
Well, when I think it's winding down, he's like, "Yeah, well, we got the next episode all written," and it's just like 15 pages, and I'm
But,
like,
I mean,
yeah.
when they bring it to when your friend brings it to Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
what's he bringing?
He's bringing.
Is it a pilot, or-
Well, he's bringing the trailer,
Yeah.
the intro that we have, and I think 1 or 2 episodes.
Right.
And he'll pare it down, and he knows how to do all that. So I'm just gonna.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish you luck. I mean,
it'll be a wonderful thing.
it'll be awesome.
The next thing I'm doing now is a thing called John's Cornerstone, which is a reading for a screenplay
Cool.
that a wonderful friend of mine, Renee McNeil, has written. And I'm playing a very, very bad guy, a preacher man who has not been listening to God for a while.
Uh-oh.
And
He's in trouble,
He's
right?
gone off the reservation like you wouldn't believe.
Oy.
And it's, playing the bad guys is always a lot of fun, and it's good.
Yeah, I'd love playing a bad guy. Comes easy to me. But
They
it's
are fun, that's for sure.
But it is fun playing different types,
Yes. Yes,
and
it is.
it brings out different. And it's amazing how different actors will play the same, could play the
Yes.
same part and it comes out
Absolutely.
totally different.
100% different, yeah.
So, do you think that, let's say going back to Fez,
Mm-hmm.
when he's writing for you, right?
I think he's writing
For the acting that you would be able to do.
I think he's writing for that, but I mean, he's also seen a lot of my work, and
Right.
he's followed a lot of it.
Right.
And I also trust him. I mean, there's this one scene in an episode called 3 a.m.,
Right.
which is like, we're playing a lot of this for laughs and stuff like that, but he also is able to weave in some serious subjects and then some pretty heavy subjects.
Right.
And there's a scene that I do when I'm finding out just about what exactly is the cost of the fame that I'm looking for.
And that I don't want any spoilers for that. That's one thing. But
To be seen.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because there's a depth to his writing as well as
Yes.
a lot of this stuff is goofy.
Right, yeah.
But at the same time, just the idea that he could envision 5 or 6 different actors talking to each other and
Yeah.
each one playing their part. To
Right,
me,
and 5 different
it's like amazing.
storylines of where these people are and where they're going.
Right, it is
It's-
pretty.
yeah.
It's amazing. Actually.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
And
is.
I'm just really happy that JT introduced me to Lindley. You know, I mean,
and I got to meet JT. I've heard a lot about this JT guy.
yeah.
So.
Well, he's recuperating.
Good.
He had some surgery recently.
All right, well,
And
meet him at some point.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
all good things come to an end. But there's
Yes.
only one thing. Whoops.
Yep.
One thing left to say.
All right.
That's a wrap. Good
Okay.
night, folks.
All right. Thank you so much. This